Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is October 23rd, and right now we are looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. We got the state of California top right, we got the Hawaiian Islands bottom left. Check out this storm system developing out across Pacific Ocean. This one is mostly headed towards Pacific Northwest, but in the wake of this, we're going to bring a very cold air mass down across some of the southwest USA and much of the state of California. It's going to bring some precipitation, some mountain snow, and some gusty winds with it as well. You can also see we've got tropical system or Hurricane Christy out here south of Baja, and this is eventually going to start to move a little bit north here. And some of the models are showing a little bit of that moisture trying to move in here with that colder trough moving across the area. We'll take a look at those details here coming up. I'll show you what the weather models are saying on that. Take a look at the extended forecast as always, and taking a look at right now. This is where we are. Look at all the lightning activity here with this low pressure system across the Pacific Ocean there. This one is developing rapidly, but again, mostly moving towards Pacific Northwest. Might clip very northern portions of California, but in the wake of this, that's where the cold air is going to come to bring some much appreciated cooling, frankly, here across a lot of the area, and some precipitation. We'll be taking a look at that here in a moment. And looking at Hurricane Christy, look at this, supposed to become a major hurricane, and this is going to survive probably on in towards Friday here, then eventually weaken and then drift off to the east here. So yeah, Hurricane Christy down there. If you're watching the infrared satellite imagery there and you see that tropical cyclone rolling around out there, that is what's going on. You can even look at the discussion and things like that. You can see the impressive rapid intensification has continued this morning. So give some thanks to the National Hurricane Center and specifically the Central Pacific Hurricane Center for these updates here. Right now, it doesn't look like huge impacts still on the southwest USA. So check this out. San Diego National Weather Service. Look at some of the highs for early next week. I mean, you're talking about 40s and 50s for the higher terrain. Look at some of the coastal areas only getting up into the 60s. Palm Springs, get your jackets and your long underwear out. Look at thermal, only 77. Cooling is coming for much of the west coast of North America as we bring a strong cold front down across the area. And in the meantime here, look at Eureka, California. We're talking about some freeze warnings, some frost advisories, some freeze watches out there. So, it is that time of year. We're starting to switch to more of that fall weather here across the area. And the National Weather Service, Reno, kind of classified it the best, becoming increasingly likely we'll get a taste of winter Sunday into early next week as robust Pacific storm sweeps across the Sierra and the western portions of Nevada. Multi-day period of rain and snow showers, gusty winds, much cooler temperatures likely in the first half of the upcoming week. So, yeah, we'll be covering this very closely here over the next few days. Now, taking a look here at some of the weather models. This is the European model, artificial intelligence. You can see that system out here associated with that colder air aloft. The reds and the browns you see there is the temperature at about 18,000 feet or 500 millibars. And then you can see the surface pressure that's associated with that colder air aloft right there. And that's that low pressure center. And you can see that making its way towards Pacific Northwest, might clip northern portions here. But then look what happens. You can see Hurricane Christy down here weakening. A little bit of that moisture tries to get pulled in here as this trough, this very cold trough, this strong frontal system drops down across much of the state of California. It's going to bring some precipitation, but it's somewhat of an inside slider, so it doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with, but we are definitely going to feel the cooling effects of that, some strong gusty winds as this sets up across the southwest portion of the USA as we head on in towards the early portion of the following week. If we take a look at temperatures at 5,000 feet, this will give you a nice visual diagram of what's going on. Here goes that system out here moving towards Pacific Northwest, but then the cool air in the wake of that storm system here really comes down across much of the southwest USA, well below average aloft. Now, taking a look here, this is the European ensemble mean versus GFS ensemble mean. So there's 30 members here. This is all averaged out on the right. There's 50 for the European. That's all averaged out here on the left. And I just want to kind of point to you that we are in exceptional model agreement with this very cool air mass arriving. This would be about Monday night coming up here on into early next week. So yeah, that cold air is definitely on its way. Now, looking at what precipitation chances we have with that that solid cold front moving down across the area. First, let's take a look at this, and you can see that moving off into the Pacific Northwest. There goes Hurricane Christy, and watch a little bit of that moisture tries to get drawn up as that frontal system and the cooler air mass drops down across the region. But you can see there is some precipitation potential. It would be some mountain snows, and again, very gusty winds and much cooler air mass coming down across the area. So, also, accompanying with that, you can see the strong wave action here moving towards the Pacific Northwest. Initially, the Gulf of Alaska is going to be roaring as well, and some of that wave action is going to be moving down as we go through the later portion of the weekend and on in through the early portion of next week as well. We're going to get a bump in that wave action there also, and then maybe another bump off through the extended forecast. But looking at total precipitation in inches, this is the European Artificial Intelligence run here. So we wait for that cold air mass and strong cold front to move down across the area. There it goes, and you can see some precipitation be in the form of snow for some of the higher terrain. Look at this, even down across some of the Southern California mountains, portions of northern Arizona, Nevada, and Utah as well. Again, not a lot of precipitation to work with, but a very chilly system, no doubt. If we take a look at total snow in inches on the National Blended Models, this is this morning, hot off the presses, the 12Z runs. That started about 5 a.m. Pacific daylight time. And you can see we're going to put this into motion here. And as we go on in through, look at this Monday morning, the snow starts to fly a little bit across the Sierra Nevada. And look at this, some not bad amounts showing up. Even this little skip of snowfall possible here across some of the Southern California mountains. This is only October here. We're not even into November or December yet. And you can see some decent amounts showing up there for the Sierra Nevada. So we have that to look forward to. And this is a 2-meter temperature anomaly. I've showed you the temperatures aloft, but let's go ahead and look at what is coming at the surface. You can clearly see the cold front as we go through the day Monday, taking over the entire state of California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, the entire Southwest. We are definitely going to be feeling this. As you can see, no place is going to be above average as we move on into the early portion of next week. So yeah, and definitely nice there. And you can kind of see that cooler pattern still with us all the way on into the early portion of November as well. And with that cold front, we're going to be bringing some gusty winds. We'll be watching this and breaking this down a little bit closer as we get towards this event unfolding. But here we go with the cold front as we go on in towards the end of the weekend, right here. You can see the winds really start to kick up. The strong northwest winds down the coastline, some strong westerly winds across the Sierra Nevada, some of the transverse peninsular ranges, some strong northwest winds coming down the valley areas, ushering in that very cool air mass. The deserts are going to be roaring here as well. These are not gusts. These are sustained winds at about 100 meters off the surface. So yeah, that cold front is going to be coming in with a vengeance most likely. And looking at the daily 2-meter temperatures, I want to just point this out because across the backcountry, things are going to get chilly, even into the valley areas and the desert areas. It's going to be well below normal. So as we go through Friday morning, there's Saturday, there's Sunday, Monday. You can see the cool down start. Look at Tuesday, Wednesday. Look at some of these lows here across the valley area. Look at this. Bakersfield down in the mid-40s here. Modesto and Fresno getting down towards 40 in the early morning hours. Sacramento Valley. Look at the desert areas as well, cooling off dramatically. And the higher terrain goes without saying across the Sierra Nevada and portions of Nevada and Utah. Big pattern change incoming here. So watch out if you are out across the backcountry here. And you can see this cooler weather hanging on in towards the end of the following week as well. So yeah, big time pattern change incoming. Here's the 6 to 10 day Climate Prediction Center is all over this. This goes through November 1st here. So yeah, you can see the blues showing up here. Great chance of below normal temperatures coming in here and kind of a broad brush across some of the region. The system is not going to be particularly wet, but it could be bringing some precipitation chances with it as I showed you. But anyway, yeah, Pacific's starting to get active here. You got Hurricane Christy out there and you got our big mid-latitude cyclone out here rolling around. And again, that's when it's pushing off to the north and east, but behind that is when that cold air is going to come. That's going to happen as we go through the very end of the weekend and on into early next week. So anyway, hope you guys are enjoying these videos. We're going to break down this cold front day by day and keep you up to date as far as those conditions are concerned. Hope you guys are having a good day. Otherwise, click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.